He would have been very pleased with how things have evolved here at Kohelet, as he was the true embodiment of Torah Umada. He strove to constantly improve his understanding and insight into the Torah and used his scientific knowledge to do that. He used his knowledge of science and mathematics to provide insight into some of the less understandable elements of the Torah and vice versa. He actually thought through, what is Shekhinah? What is the Shekhinah? We see it represented in the Torah. And if you think about the way the Aron was described, it's actually a capacitor. Between the wood and the gold, it actually stored an electric charge. So when we see how people died by touching the Aron Kodesh, one can actually begin to see some insight from the possibility of combining what was in the Torah with insights from science. He was a big fan of technology, and in fact, he even proposed the idea of a personal computer to an Israeli company when we were living in Israel in 1974 on a sabbatical, years before the TRS-80 or Commodore 64 hit the market. Sadly, they didn't accept the proposal. He started utilizing computers in the classroom to help teach math and science way before it was even remotely common, and even designed teaching guides to help others do it. He was able to envision a place for computers in Jewish studies as well, and he co-founded a program called Yeshivat Kyhs, which was at Skokie Yeshiva, I think it still is, which combines summer camp with sleepover camp at the yeshiva with computer programming. And in fact, one of his Hasidim was the founder of Davka Software. Literally for decades, he worked with educators to help them understand how technology could help students to learn more holistically and how it would help to make teachers better at teaching. He was a huge fan of the Bar Ilan project and would so have loved to see the different ways that teaching and learning have evolved and how Kohelet has embraced this approach. My father was very focused on the issues of Ben Adam L'Chavero, as evidenced by his tireless efforts with Bikur Cholim organization in Cleveland towards the end of his life, and also his activities throughout his life. One of my earliest memories was how embarrassed I was by him, because he often would go to the senior home in Cleveland to play his accordion. He plays an accordion, for God's sake. To play his accordion for the residents, to help bring some simcha around the Yom Tovim. And he would do this on his own. He wasn't part of any organization, he just did it because it needed to be done. By getting along amongst ourselves, it will naturally bring us closer to Hashem, and the process is made easier when it is done together. This manifested in his approach to davening. He was the ultimate Baal Tefillah, where he worked to engage the Kehillah in davening process using nusach to capture the emotions of the words and the day, and when nusach was not sufficient, he modified it. He used other appropriate melodies or composed his own to get the mood across. He even utilized other genres of music to capture the intent using classical music as well as Jewish to achieve this end. The more active participation he had from the Kehillah, the better the davening would be, and the greater the impact that tefillah could have on the community and on Yisrael. He truly believed in the power of tefillah and worked tirelessly and utilized all of his learning and capabilities to create the most engaging and compelling davening to bring the kahal along with him. So on behalf of my family, I'd like to wish you all a Gmar Chatima Tova, a good and sweet year, and to your families, and hope you enjoy the rest of the program.